no script. You know, just fuck the script. Fuck the script. Fuck the lines. We're winging it like Jackie Gleason. We're doing it live. So here we are. We're going to talk about, we're live from the canyons of Manhattan, the ravines of Union Square. We're going to be talking about Eugene O'Neill, giant of the American theater. We're going to talk about Monkey Bar. I'm a food critic now. We'll be doing restaurant reviews. So yeah, I'm a food critic now. I'm going to do my year in dining. We're going to do our in-depth reviews of Monkey Bar, Cafe des Artistes. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the open mic last night. It was huge. Elvis night. Not that anybody really celebrated. I don't know. I guess that's the power of a flyer. People really like the flyer. Or I don't know. The flyer that I made, it was still from Pierre Lefaux, the Jean-Luc Godard movie with Jean-Paul Belmondo and Anna Karina. And it's just weird because those, a lot of times, are my most popular. People do not like my flyers. They do not like the flyers. The algorithm doesn't like it anyway. I don't get that many views on my flyers. But when I use like a still cap from like a famous kind of iconic image, Fran Lebowitz or James Dean or whatever, the algorithm loves that. So I shared this flyer. Last week I went back through my Instagram for like the past year, and I recommend people do this from time to time. Just sort of go back over your work, go back over the last year, whatever it is, your poetry, your comedy, your performances, your videos. Just kind of go back and look at them, see what you were doing, and be like, see what worked, see what didn't work. You know, it was interesting because it's one of those things that's always in your mind, and you think like, oh, I'm on top of this, and like I'm handling this, but you know, you do so many of them. I mean, we're coming up on our 100th show, so they almost happen so fast that it's like you kind of need to get perspective on it before you know it. Oh, it's been a year since, you know, last August when all this shit was happening. The telethon last year. It's been almost a year since that. So I emailed the local hostel where we did it last year on the rooftop. They have an open Sunday on Labor Day weekend. So we are probably going to do the Labor Day telethon at the local rooftop. It'll be on a rooftop. And I think I'm just going to do it as an open mic, more or less. I mean, I'll probably book a few people to just be like key acts, or I'll book as many people as I can. But last year was almost like an open mic. It was like a lot of people came out that weren't necessarily on the bill or anything. But it was a great kind of end of season. I had a little bit more of a group kind of vibe last year. This year, I don't know. It's hard for me to foster a community feeling at Easy Paradise, or even make friends with the people that do it, because I'm just so cut off from social interaction outside of that. So it's a little bit, you know, it's a little bit harder to do the gigs and the gatherings. I guess that was one of the things that was my social life, was doing the summer concert series last year. Now this is my social life. Friends with my online community. We love you. Thank you for watching. Not that anybody's watching right now. I'm doing it. I don't know. It's just like it's you know, it's early in the day. Get some nice exposure on there. It's a beautiful day. And I like doing these outdoor episodes. I think they appreciate well, even if people don't necessarily watch them at the time. I don't know. We're going to keep doing it. I like doing it. Isn't that what art is? It makes sense to me. Maybe this is the shortest distance and a shortcut and just the laziest, easiest way to do this. But, you know, I guess if I was live streaming myself playing fucking Call of Duty, I'd have thousands of people watching maybe. But I'm not like everybody else. What can I say? We have a highly specialized audience. Not everybody gets it, okay? Not everybody's on the wavelength. Yeah, so Labor Day telethon will be Sunday and Monday. So that'll be kind of nice to have it back to back. Maybe I'll even book it on Saturday. Then it'll be a true telethon. Maybe we'll do a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Labor Day weekend. Maybe I'll do a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And that'll just be the telethon. We'll do the whole weekend. I mean, Jerry Lewis, I think he only does one day. I think he only did Sunday. I don't think he did, like, the whole fucking weekend. So, maybe Sunday and Monday will be enough. So, if you want to perform on a rooftop, Sunday, Labor Day weekend is your chance. Come out to the Labor Day telethon at the local in Queens, New York, Long Island City. One of the best views in the city. The thing about living in New York is all the good views are on the other side of the river. If you live in Manhattan, you're just looking at Brooklyn or Jersey or whatever. You know, there's nice views, but it's not quite like looking at the back at the Manhattan skyline. You know, like I was thinking about Springsteen's music and like that song Meet Me Across the River, right? A lot of his music sounds like it was written by somebody looking at New York City from across the river, from kind of like a yearning kind of vantage point. Oh my God, get this. So I'm watching fucking one of my favorite movies, Next Stop Greenwich Village, this weekend. I was trying to get Ashley to see it. She hasn't seen it. I don't know. The lead actor, kind of whatever. But as I'm watching, right, there's the scene Kirk Plaza. There's Plaza, which is literally like 3 platforms from I'm going to live out in Midwood. Next is almost like one of those, for some reason in the 70s, there were all these like, it's almost like Saturday Night Fever. There's all these about like living in Brooklyn, it's boring, welcome back Cotter, and wanting to go into the city. Next stop Greenwich Village, it's like he lives in Brownsville. You know, it's not like he lives in Ohio. And yet he's got to get away from Brownsville and move like away from his family to like fucking, you know, Greenwich Village. It's like, it's an hour on the train. It's like I do that every fucking day. I take that journey every day. So anyway, we're watching this fucking movie, and he has a whole scene on Newkirk Plaza, right, which is right near my house, and then we're watching this scene which is supposed to take place in fucking Brownsville, and it pans over, and I'm like, that's fucking 12th Street. In Park Slope, you can see fucking, it's literally the corner. Watch the movie Next Stop Greenwich Village. People who know about the Slooge, who may have lived there. I don't know if Ross or Huntley, if you're out there watching. Watch this movie, Next Stop Greenwich Village. It's free on YouTube. Paul Mazursky. It's just a good movie, but near the beginning of the film, there's a shot where he's moving from Brownsville to fucking downtown, and it's, I swear to God, it's 12th Avenue and 5th Street. On the left, you can see Commonwealth, you can see the mattress store, you can see the BQE out in the distance over 12th Street, and you can see the giveaways, you see the church kind of parapets. You know, we live right next to that church on 12th Street. The Slooge was right next to this Presbyterian church or something. There were these kind of 2 turret kind of things, these big parapets on the roof of this fucking church. And so you see them clear as day in this fucking, I mean, they're small, like they're in the fucking, you know, it's like a landscape shot. But it looks like the fucking Slooge is like sky blue or something. There's like, it's like painted some crazy fucking color. So I encourage people who knew about the Slooge, who were at the Slooge, watch this movie, Next Stop Greenwich Village. As I'm watching the movie, I'm like, this looks fucking familiar. And I pause it, and I look it up on Google Maps, and I showed Ashley, I'm like, doesn't that look like the same fucking exact? It's the same building, same roof, the mansard roof on the mattress store. So that's one of the things about living in New York. A lot of times it's like you're watching some famous movie, you're reading some famous book, and you realize like it's about like the place that you live or where, you know, where you work or like where you're sitting. They're like, holy shit, you know. And I'm constantly looking for those kind of like tie-ins with life, you know. I don't know. I guess that's kind of a loser. But to me, it's almost like the psychogeography of the place, you know, the artists that have lived there, the people who have been there, the poets, the literature that has been written there. You know, in a certain way, the landscape is talking through the artists. You know, we are the product of where we live and what we eat and what we look at and the culture around us. And so that does affect, I would say, the artistic decisions that we make. You know, certain things like free jazz. I don't know, a lot of the way that I write or Frank O'Hara write, being that in this kind of famous kind of tour guide, naming locations. And it's also, I don't know, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like a synchronicity where you feel like you're almost tapped into the cosmic unconsciousness or something. Where you're like, oh, something must be hitting. I must be like, you know, fucking in tune with something because I'm watching this movie like, holy shit, I lived there. I'm in this movie. Or like I'm tied, you know, somehow mystically. Like I remember when I was watching that movie Blue in the Face. That movie Blue in the Face, they shot at the cigar store near 15th Street on Prospect Park Southwest. So it's like right in the fucking neighborhood. As I'm watching, I'm like, oh shit. That happens constantly when you live in New York. You're like, oh my God. Like, okay, I'm sitting right here by fucking Paragon Sports. That Julia Louis-Dreyfus movie we watched the other day. You Hurt My Feelings. Which I encourage people to watch. You Hurt My Feelings. It's an A24 film. It's kind of a chick flick. It's just like, it's like a Nora Ephron, you know, it's sort of just like a smart, professional woman in the city. Easy to watch, kind of just a fun, it's like an airplane read. It's a novel about, you know, her interior life. It's told from her point of view. And there's a scene, she overhears her husband talking about how he doesn't like her novel at Paragon Sports. And as we're watching, I'm like, oh my God, that's Paragon Sports. It's a very identifiable place. That kind of silver logo, and their whole signage and shit is very kind of remarkable and identifiable and stuff. Maybe I'll walk around. Should I start walking now? Maybe I'll do a few more minutes. Maybe I'll do like 15 minutes here, 20 minutes here. And I'll start walking. You know, and I'm constantly looking for kind of the next thing to study. What's the next unit of kind of cultural ingestion and sort of like in the ongoing college adult curriculum, adult learning that we're, you know, as artists, I don't know, and as people without children. And I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm just like in this lifestyle where I'm subjected to mass media. You know, I like local media. I like going to open mics. I like seeing real performances, real people. But I'm just kind of in this situation where it's like I'm watching all these fucking movies. And so, just trying to figure out what to watch, what to study, what to look at. The thing I've been getting into recently is Eugene O'Neill plays. Because I pulled that book off the Jefferson Market Library shelf the other day. I pulled off, I was talking about it in my live stream. I was talking about how Eugene O'Neill had bad teeth. Mentioned it in his autobiography. Look at this guy. He's on one of those tall bikes. What's that about? How do you do that? What if you fall? How do you not fall on the tall bike? I mean, if you fall, you're definitely going to fall on somebody. It's pretty irresponsible to ride one of those tall bikes. I don't know what they're trying to prove. It's not a circus. Maybe I guess that might be the only bike the guy has. What's better about that? Is there an advantage to that? I guess you see further, maybe. You get more attention. Yeah, so I pulled this book about the Eugene O'Neill thing, and I've always wanted to find a way into Eugene O'Neill. You know, you always hear he's America's greatest playwright, and I'm gonna leave because I don't want this music on my fucking soundtrack. I feel like that's pre-recorded. I don't want copyright music in my soundtrack. Yeah, I'll meet you at Bleecker Park, actually. Okay, I'll meet you at Bleecker Park. Paragon Sports. See, it's just like that Julia Louis-Dreyfus movie. The Billionaire, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. The trust fund baby. Ashley's TikTok got 800 views. Shit. She's famous. She's viral. Oh, Ashley, you missed out. Matthew Donovan was at the open mic last night. He said it was fun. Shout out to Matthew Donovan. I've never met him, but thank you for coming. That was nice of him to come. Of Neoliberal Hell podcast, which I've never listened to, but it has some kind of internet, you know. I'll check it out. I'd like to check it out. Daddy, read this. Yeah, so, you know, we're intertextual. We're tying this in with the Julia Louis-Dreyfus film and Seinfeld. We've been watching Seinfeld. You know, Seinfeld is just constantly on in the background. Seinfeld is like our come down media. It's like our aperitif, or what is that? It's not like our palate cleanser. Between the main courses, we're on this endless kind of prefix menu of the greatest films and restaurants in New York City. What do you want, Ashley? Yes, I'll meet you. Whatever you want. I agree. I'll do it. Okay. I think I'm gonna do a little Madison Square. Madison Square is kind of an underrated park. They have a nice fountain. So maybe I'll do a in Broadway up to Ashley is wearing the hot outfit. Ashley is Z Chiad. Hey, I am going to I figured out how to get a moderator in the comments. So anybody who wants to volunteer to be a moderator, please let me know, because this madness has to stop. We have to police this. Okay, Ashley's wearing the hot TikTok. Everybody who's seen it on TikTok, Ashley's going to be wearing the hot outfit tonight. So maybe we'll get that on the live stream somehow. We'll get an exclusive with the viral superstar. This is kind of a pedestrian-friendly alley through here. Broadway up from Union Square to Madison Park is very nice. I mean, Broadway all the way is fucking beautiful. You know, there's a reason why it's called Broadway. And so Eugene O'Neill seems like this unique product. He sprung from Broadway. He was born literally on the corner of 43rd Street and Broadway, right in the center of Times Square. His dad was an actor. I guess his dad played the Count of Monte Cristo. He was like the, I guess he was typecast in this role. He couldn't get any other, people wouldn't take him seriously in deeper parts. He was like the William Shatner of, you know, the 1800s or whatever. In Broadway, the early days. You know, Broadway before fucking movies, that's what they had. That's why there's so many fucking theaters in one place. It kind of doesn't make sense anymore. You're like, why the fuck are all these theaters here? They're all in one place. It's like, why they put all this shit in one place? It's like, well, you know, in 1888 or whatever, that's the best they could do. They didn't have fucking mass media. There was no such thing. They had fucking newspapers and novels and shit. So if you wanted to see, you know, portrayal of real life, you had to go to the fucking theater. That was the only way. This was the best they could do. So O'Neill was kind of a product of that. And I mean, I've read Long Day's Journey into Night. I would say it's one of my favorite plays. I relate to the character who's into Baudelaire and shit, right? What's his name? Not Jamie, the other one. Edmund. His name is Edmund, believe it or not. Is that why Ted Berrigan named his kid? But, what, Ashley? What do you want? Please, stop cyberbullying me. In the comments. Yeah, bring your dog to the park so we can make this goddamn film already, okay? We need to be making viral content, okay? It's a gold rush, okay? It's 1848 as far as personality, marketing your personality on the internet. We need to get in now, okay? It may already be too late, okay? We need to figure out how to go viral, how to get audiences, how to get paid to make stupid little 15-second long lip-syncing videos. Like everybody else. Look at this. It's nothing sacred. I think they want to erase the 20th century. You know, they want to build New York into the 21st century, and they're doing it in just the tackiest, stupidest way. I guess that's the history of New York. Taller, newer, richer. Yes, I will meet you, Ashley. I'm going to meet you at 8 p.m. in your hot TikTok outfit. Here you go. Look at this. More height discrimination. What the fuck is this? I think short king should be classified as a marginalized people. I think if we're gonna have this slur, if we're gonna bandy about this slur, I mean, think about it. Everything. No one is being disparaged in this way in our society. No, no one is just being like publicly derided with such abandon as the short king. So I think short kings, they should get the benefits of being a marginalized people. They're victims. They get victim status. You know, if we're gonna publicly acknowledge that it sucks, and you're just fucked as a short king. I know I shouldn't be so outspoken about short kings, but I'm an advocate. I'm an advocate for short kings. What can I say? I think it's a madness. It's a... Oh, sorry. I'm trying to tighten my... Yeah, so there you go. There's some open discrimination. There are marginalized people. Okay, so what the... Oh, yeah, I was talking about Eugene O'Neill. This is my lecture. It's study time for everybody. I know everybody, all the right-wing psychos on YouTube want to hear about Eugene O'Neill. It's extremely niche... boring subject. Okay, love you, Ashley. Goodbye. So yeah, Eugene O'Neill was born right down that Broadway right there. And so yeah, Long Day's Journey into Night. The Edmund character is kind of a poet. He's got the touch of a poet in him, right? The dad says a couple times. And that's clearly like the Eugene O'Neill character. So it's sort of an auto-fiction. I mean, I guess his plays are like psychological realism. To me, I mean, he won the fucking Pulitzer Prize. Okay, love you, Ashley. Okay? The movies were silent at that time. You know, they didn't really have a way to deliver information by the, you know, like his plays have so much dialogue. This is something I commented on the other day was, you know, I was at Drama Bookshop. I went to Drama Bookshop the other night before Café des Artistes. And one thing I noticed is like all fucking modern playwrights use line breaks now, which I think is kind of nuts. I mean, I like that in a way. And that's what I would do, probably. And it makes sense. I mean, I think the first person I saw do that was Sarah Rule. I remember Sarah Rule, like, whatever that fucking play was about cancer or whatever. Clean House or something. I think that had line breaks. I guess everybody wants to be a poet. Every fucking millennial and Gen Z person wants to be a poet. That's why these open mics are so popular. Women get poetry. It's more laced, it's more embroidered, it's more specific. I was listening to this fucking Nymphet alumni. It's just unbelievable how specific all their verbiage is. I try to do that, but Jesus Christ. Women just seem better. This is insane. Alright, I'm gonna block you. You're getting blocked, okay? No. I love you, Ashley. Now shut the fuck up and get the fuck off of my live stream. Okay? Fuck you, Ashley. How about that? I will not be threatened. I'm not going to be threatened anymore, okay? You're ruining the experience in every way. Okay? You're a terrible person. Okay? You cannot act this way. Oh my God. So anyway, we watched fucking Long Day's Journey tonight. So the real play, but the thing that really hooked us was, Ashley, I said it like 5 fucking times already, okay? Don't you understand that when you force me to say it, it doesn't mean anything? You know, it just makes everything weird. You just want to fuck my life up for some reason. So fuck off. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of dealing with your shit. I don't care if you didn't hear it. Go back and fucking rewind it. I'm going to ignore you, or I'm going to turn the comments off. Is there a way for me to do that? Is there a way for me to turn the comments off? Okay, love you, Ashley. Love you, love you, love you. Isn't that obvious? Isn't that obvious to everybody who's been watching this? How much I love Ashley? I'm sure that's obvious to everybody who's been a part of my life over the last couple of years. How much I fucking... How much she makes me look like a fucking monster in front of everybody. How she makes everything I do 5 times as hard. Not that I'd be having any success either fucking way, you know. But Ashley just makes it way fucking harder. Ashley is a charming person, and I'm glad to know her, but the cost is way too fucking high. Okay, well anyway. This is our Eugene O'Neill play, okay? This is Desire Under the Elms. I think I read Desire Under the Elms in college. It's like it was too rural for me. And that's kind of how this Moon for the we started watching this play, Moon for the Misbegotten, and it like takes place on a fucking farm or something. You know, it looks like Of Mice and Men. There's like a dirt patch and like a fucking wooden house and a porch and shit, and we're just like, we can't watch this. There's no way this is going to be accessible to us. Okay, I'll see you at 8. Now please stop and go away. Please. For the love of God. I can't fight you anymore. So it takes place on this fucking farm. Can I smoke here? Can I smoke weed here? This place might be too classy. There's a fountain and shit. I mean, I wanted to get that fountain in there. I know it looks like shit. It's all blown out. My phone sucks. Look, I do understand, Ashley. You're being ridiculous as always. And I'm just too tired to be fake right now. People on the internet love fucking... What is this? What happened here? I have some kind of weird hair or something. This has gotten like more... People on the internet love violence and confrontation and ugliness. It's just like a big Jerry Springer society. All of the fucking, you know, worst people have gotten in on the Wild West of the internet. And they're trying to steal our entire civilization, and they're doing it. And we get our vanity metrics, so we, you know, are complicite, the new media, the influencer class, of which I'm not a part. I'm a sub-influencer. 8 p.m. Well, okay, 8 p.m., yeah. We'll see you then, Ashley. I would love to get back involved with being an extra and doing like acting shit. You know, you get paid $20 an hour. I'd do that. 10 hours a day to just like fucking be on the new fucking, be in the Timothy Chalamet Bob Dylan movie. I just need more gigs. I need more passive income, more income streams. That's what it's all about. We're all digital serfs trying to cobble together a living from our various income streams and side hustles, and basically trying to steal as much money as possible from each other. Trying to grift, you got to be a grifter. You just got to learn how to grift. And honestly, I saw this article. It was like people who own stocks, own houses, and are employed are like doing great. It's like, yeah, because the fucking system is made for them, So it's like, if you're not in the system, you're part of the precariat, and you probably don't have health insurance. You probably have, health problems. Your rent's gotten jacked up. And so we're all just getting fucked. And the technology has made it easier for them to exploit us. One thing I hate is surge pricing. I think surge pricing is like one of the most evil, especially now they're doing it like McDonald's and shit. Like the fast food menu will change in price depending on the demand of fucking how many people want a fucking Big Mac at the time, or like, Ubers are more expensive if it's surge pricing. It's like, this assumes that the market is like some ungovernable law of nature. We just assume that market dynamics, which are something that are man-made, and this is something I've talked about at length on my live stream. I didn't block your number. I did not block your number. Okay? You'll know when I block your number, okay? I did not unblock your number. I did not block your number, okay? So I talked about economics a lot on here, right? And it's just an endless conversation, and it's all mumbo jumbo. It is all voodoo fucking economics. And I don't know. If you have 160,000 TikTok fucking followers, you can make a living doing that. If you're stupid to not be trying to do that, right? If you're trying to be an entertainer, or you just want to get paid for your personality or for being hot, that's the worst part. It's like, didn't hot people have enough? It wasn't pretty. It just magnifies and intensifies pretty privilege. Now pretty privilege is literally you can be like a millionaire from just being hot. And not even like a, super hot. Just sort of like, just some normal person that's hot. I remember when, celebrities, people that we watch used to have talent. Now it's just like you just scroll through pictures of people. But TikTok, I don't know. I think TikTok brings out the talent in people. I think. I don't know. Okay, so what the fuck else? So I'm talking about this. Yeah, Moon for the Misbegotten, right? Is this Eugene O'Neill play. And it's a sequel, I guess. It's part of the Long Day's Journey to Night fictional universe. And I guess they were the last plays that he wrote. The last two plays he wrote were Long Day's Journey of Night and Moon for the Misbegotten. And it seemed like Moon for the Misbegotten was unfinished. It seemed a little unfinished. And, where's the cops? Why do they have yellow guns? Is that a real gun, or that's just, like, the safety or something? Like, what the fuck is that? It felt a little bit like... And I guess the first time they staged both of these plays was, like, in 56, well after he died. And so, Jason Robards Jr., who's in the movie Little Big League, which I remember from when I was a kid. It was one of the baseball movies for kids in the 90s. I think that was the one. It was the one about the Minnesota Twins. Was that Little Big League? What was the one where the kid breaks his arm and then he can throw it super fast? That was a different movie, but that one was good too. With Daniel Stern and Gary Busey. Funky Butt Lover is in that movie. But anyway, Jason Robards is in 1,000 Clowns, which is one of my favorite movies. It's on YouTube. It's the movie that's based on the life of Gene Shepherd. And it's written by Herb Gardner, who was sort of like a New York beat era playwright. Friends with Shel Silverstein. That kind of village, you know, late 50s, 60s kind of thing. Herb Gardner wrote 1,000 Clowns, based on the life of Gene Shepherd, who I've talked about a lot. But Jason Robards plays that part. It's a great New York movie. If you haven't seen 1,000 Clowns, it's also on YouTube. About the days when New York was cheap. Or, you know, just like full of unemployed people. And this is sort of man-child. He's Peter Panning in the movie. He's Peter Panning. He was like a children's TV show host, but he quit to just sort of like be a bum. Like a beatnik type, you know, who just doesn't do anything. So Jason Robards, you know, he's not necessarily the biggest movie star. He's not necessarily movie star handsome in a way. He's got a great voice, but he's sort of famous for doing these Eugene O'Neill plays. And I think in a certain way, he's sort of like, is responsible for sort of reviving Eugene O'Neill in like the 50s and 60s. Apparently they did this Moon for the Misbegotten on Broadway in the 70s, and the play had been sort of overlooked. People just sort of thought, this doesn't really work. And Ashley and I really liked it, to be honest. It was very fiery. I don't know what it was about this play. It's messy. It's sort of like Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, where it's just these people insulting each other for 2 hours. Or like all Eugene O'Neill plays, it's super long. That's one of the things I think that's very modern about Eugene O'Neill, is his plays are just like, you know, there's a version of Iceman Cometh, a film version with Lee Marvin that is 4 hours long. Like, that's pretty fucking amazing. That's pretty modern, if you ask me. Like, that's like streaming era timeline, you know, length, duration. That's basically like, I think Horace and Pete, the Louis C.K. show, was influenced by Eugene O'Neill, because it takes place in a bar, and it's sort of this long kind of stage with all these, you know, characters who, you know, you're kind of seeing their psychology through their, you know, long dialogue. You know, like Eugene O'Neill, he was writing these plays a lot of times during silent movies and shit. When Broadway, I think, was probably the premier way they had to deliver this much verbal information. You know, play is almost, it's a poetry reading, basically. You're seeing a poetry reading. It's just there's actors, they got costumes, they've got verisimilitude to sell it to you as sort of this, you know, simulation of reality, or like exemplary diorama, to sort of show you some kind of human situation. But you know, now we do that with movies and TV shows. Now it's like plays have all become these like jukebox musicals and kind of like spectacle musical things, multicultural, white people guilt musicals, Disney, you know, big theme park plays. Now it's like we watch TV shows to give us that X-ray of the soul or the psychology or whatever. Whereas like a Eugene O'Neill play, that probably was like fucking, I don't know, you know, The Sopranos of the day or something. You know, it was like all this dialogue, all this. And so one of the things about the line breaks, right? Like I was talking about how all these playwrights use line breaks now. I made a TikTok video about it. I had an interesting comment said that they felt like the dialogue is less meaty, which I agree in a way. You know, like I love line breaks, and I kind of get why they would be in a play to sort of imply a rhythm or like an emotional, you know, kind of like direction that things are sort of twisting and turning. I think they could show things to the actor, and I like that they kind of cut out the jungle of like, you know, a lot of times when you look at these Eugene O'Neill plays, it's like they're super intimidating because you're just like, Jesus Christ, you got these huge blocks of just tangle. You know, like a Eugene O'Neill, I had the play Long Day's Journey at Night in high school. It's this amazing cover. He's on the cover with his fucking mustache. He's like on some kind of ship or something. And it's like a novel. It's 180 pages. And they're long fucking, the stage directions are like paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs. Just about every goddamn, there's a bookshelf and there's stairs, because it was really based on, it was basically a reality show. In a lot of ways, to be honest. It's like he was writing about his fucking family, like their exact shit that they went through. In this house, I guess, where it takes place, his dad was kind of this famous actor, you know, sort of wealthy, but in the play he's portrayed as this miser and this kind of like spendthrift, super frugal cheapskate. But they had this fucking house in New London, Connecticut, which is where System Lord played. So there's another psychogeographic kind of connection with Eugene O'Neill. We've been building to this moment, this unit of study. Like, I feel like I'm in the exact right place. I'm studying the exact right thing at the exact right time. Like, these plays, they are kind of, I think you just have to like the fact that they kind of play out with this verbal density in front of you, over like hours and hours. I think people want that now. People want long content. They want 4-hour-long fucking movies and Fassbender 10-hour, you know, Berlin Alexanderplatz. Because we're used to that, right? Like, we're used to Breaking Bad or whatever the fuck, you know, Succession or Mr. Robot. We're used to huge, you know, oceans of kind of narrative. And Eugene O'Neill plays almost seem like tiny. That was the best they could do at the time, right? Was like a 4-hour, like The Iceman Cometh is like this kind of famous play because it's just such a huge undertaking for any actor. I don't even know how they did it. Like, Jason Robards must have some kind of freaky memory facility, because he's in all of these fucking plays and he just has so much goddamn dialogue. It's just crazy. As Hickey or whatever. So I think that's going to be my next kind of internet, it's how I'm going to, you know, I'm always looking for things to listen to, you know, like podcasts, whatever, while you're typing things up or trying to recover from the previous day. You know, we're looking for these long kind of verbal, and theater, I think, is one of the best places for that, where like you can almost just listen to these plays. You almost don't even really have to watch the staging in a certain way. And so I think I'm just going to go on a huge Eugene O'Neill, because there's just so much. I mean, this guy is like a giant. He won the Nobel Prize in Literature in like 1938 or something. He was only like 50. You know, I think he was in his 40s even when he won the Nobel Prize in Literature. It's like he won 3 Pulitzer Prizes in the 1920s. I mean, I don't think there's a maybe Lin-Manuel Miranda is the only comparable. But he was also like a village kind of creation, right? Like the Provincetown Playhouse and, you know, the saloon that is depicted in Iceman Cometh is supposedly this bar that was like a dead-end kind of dive, last resort kind of place on 6th Avenue and 4th Street. You know, it was like, there's probably nothing comparable to that now because they've kicked all those people out of the city. But, you know, the plays about all these sailors and, you know, people that have been fucked up by war. You know, this guy's got a huge scar on his back because he got injured in the Boer Wars in South Africa. It's very international. You know, there's a British guy, there's a South African guy. You know, I don't know. New York still has that, but it's not as salty. You know, like even when I first came here, New York still kind of had this like salty edge. Whereas like the people who made it here kind of did have like this street smart and this kind of toughness. And they were really kind of still international. Like, I had this line in one of my poems, that guy we met in Montauk, the cab driver, who was Irish. Like, you could tell this guy was just like a sopping drunk. You know, New York used to have that energy of just like people on heroin and fucking just drunken, dangerous, risky, smelly, fucking colorful people. You know, people with a lot of soul, magical people, people with a lot of life. You know, people that are drinking their asses off, they're getting high. You know, a lot of times they're pretty colorful, jovial people. For you know, at least while they're on their way up. You know, the ugly side of that, of course, not so great. But New York has a cleanliness, a sanitization, a control, a self-control, a responsibility. Everybody works. You know, the reason why there's no 24-hour fucking diners or anything is because everybody fucking works. Everybody's got to get up and do Soul Cycle or Equinox or Pilates. You know, they got to get up and start robbing people. The market, you know, they got to get up and start trading or whatever the fuck they do, doing some kind of, they're analysts or they're consulting, they're consultants. They got to get up at the crack of dawn and start consulting or doing analytics or something, analysis. Clearly the world needs that. It's making the world a better place, you know, for these people to just like go to fucking Sweet Green and different TikTok restaurants. And anybody who's cool or interesting is kind of having a hard time vibing, you know, in between all of the like microplastic yoga pants and the Lululemon and the ugly, you know, the hype beast shit. I just learned a new word today, hype beast. Apparently hype beast has been setting like the culture. It's driving the culture forward. That's Hypebeast's slogan. To me, when I see Hypebeast, I'm just like, these guys all just look like Andrew Schultz. Or it's like Tyler, the Creator. It's like hip-hop, but it's like just all super like t-shirts and sneakers. They're obsessed with fucking sneakers. I think sneakers are the most boring thing you can be obsessed with. I'm sorry. I hope that doesn't sound like, because I know that that's like probably like black culture. Although, like, lame white people do it now, too. Like, they all want, like, it's the same people who want, like, Space Jam jerseys. It's like, I'm collecting different sneakers. It's like, that's a way, I guess, of differentiating the banality of our clothes. Our clothes are, we live in, like, the ugliest, you know, it might be the greatest time to be alive, but I think fashion-wise, it's probably the worst, actually. Like, history may have been a nightmare full of, like, physical pain and drunkenness and early death and, you know, dying in childbirth, but they looked great. They always had rizzied out, rizzlered ass. They were mogged out. Sorry, I'm learning new words all the time. I have to apply them to stay relevant. Okay. For the I don't know, for the internet cutting edge. And so yeah. We have really ugly clothes, and I blame Hypebeast. Supreme is like that, I guess. Mark Zuckerberg apparently is going to buy Supreme. Does that make any fucking sense to anybody? He's trying so hard. He's just got a new PR team. Everybody's like wondering, like, oh, wait a minute, what happened with Zuckerberg? His hair is cool. He's like wakeboarding or whatever the fuck that is. It's like he hired new PR people. It's that fucking simple. He didn't change, okay? He hired a new team. He saw that people hated him, and the Sweet Baby Ray's thing just was not, it was not like fucking cutting it. You know, it was not getting him over. So it's like now people are like, what's he doing? He's like wakeboarding in like a tuxedo. What? Zuckerberg's like cool. He's got curly, you know, what's that hair bussin'? He's bussin'. Mark Zuckerberg's bussin', no cap. Mark Zuckerberg's a hype beast. That's all. That's all it is, okay? He's a lame millennial who hired some kind of new person to do his social media. That's all it is. These people have social media managers. And so he's basically just like aping hype beast culture. And he wants to be a Roman emperor or whatever. He created a statue of his wife. Oh, we also got to talk about, I don't know if I can talk about this, but I am going to talk about it because one of our distinguished alumni was performed live on stage at Madison Square Garden this weekend, which is kind of nuts to think about. I don't know if I should name names. I don't want to blow anybody up, but one of our favorite comedians who performs every Monday. So they do this thing, Kill Tony, right? I don't know if people are familiar with that. It's huge on YouTube, right? It's a huge fucking YouTube show, Kill Tony. And I guess it's so big, they get millions of fucking views. The one episode with Shane Gillis as Trump got like 15 million fucking views. So it's basically an open mic. It's basically like, the twist is they give comedians 1 minute, right? And you do your best 1 minute. And the angle is like they're going to roast you. They get famous people and they're going to fucking roast you, right? They're going to make fun of you if you suck. It's like the Gong Show, basically. It's the same fucking thing, basically. Except they insult you to your face. And they humiliate you. But you get famous, And they usually do it, I think, they've moved it around. I think they do it at the Comedy Store. But I think they moved it around to different places. I know about it through that show Crashing. That guy Tony Hinchcliffe was on that show, and just tangentially through comedy culture. I guess maybe I've been more friendly to comedy than I have to poetry. I've been more involved with comedy in a certain way, but it's not that far off from the open mic thing. And so I'm kind of curious about what makes it a success. I mean, they have famous people on it and shit. And it's sort of an American Idol mixed with, like, Comedy Central roast, Friars Club roast. Or X Factor or whatever. So it's a win-win-win-win-win. I'm thinking about making the open mic on Monday a competition. Giving, like, a prize every week to a winner. Have the audience vote on who they think the best act is. That could make it exciting for people. It could reinvigorate. Americans love competition game shows. Competition performance shows. For some goddamn reason. I don't know why. If American Idol, if there was no competition, people probably wouldn't watch it. If it was just people singing. If it was just average people singing, nobody would fucking watch it. But because it's gamified, for some reason, that makes it exciting. So... Kill Tony's like that. So they do it at like fucking arenas and shit. They're doing like this arena tour. I'd love to do an arena tour of Easy Paradise. So I think for the Labor Day telethon, we'll just do an open mic. Come on out to the local rooftop. You get to perform on a rooftop, Labor Day weekend. And you get to be a part of the telethon. So yeah, we got to do an arena tour for Easy Paradise. That's my dream. An open mic, Madison Square Garden. My dream, Easy Paradise at Madison Square Garden. I'm manifesting it. I'm going through the Lionsgate portal. I'm manifesting it. I'm putting it out there. I'm claiming this energy. Easy Paradise at Madison Square Garden. So anyway, I imagine a lot of comedians that I know went out for this because I'm pretty sure it was like American Idol where you could just go and fucking try and sign up for it. I'm pretty sure you could just go to Madison Square Garden and try and get on the list. Try and get on the sign-up sheet for Kill Tony, and Jason King did. He got on fucking stage. I haven't seen it yet. I got a couple messages Saturday night while I was watching Eugene O'Neill plays on the Easy Paradise account. Natalie and RG Ross, shout out to Natalie and Ross. Natalie of Hot People Reading Poetry fame. And Ross, the man. I'm sure we all know Ross. He's awesome. One of the best out there. Shout out to Ross. I got messages from both of them saying, holy shit, did you see fucking Jason King is on stage at Madison Square Garden? So, usually that's one thing social media is good for. Like, it does indicate to us if something is like lighting up, something's getting a lot of positive comments, or like I said, I got multiple messages from cool people. I don't know why they were watching it. I tried to get in and watch it, but it was like $15. You had to pay. It was like fucking pay-per-view. Maybe I should do my live streams as pay-per-view. $5 per stream to watch live. Like Vince McMahon. But it was like a fucking pay-per-view, so I couldn't actually watch it. I haven't seen it yet. Hopefully they'll post it on YouTube. So I don't know. Congratulations to Jason King for doing it. That's incredible. To even get on stage at Madison Square Garden. And he deserves it. I mean, the guy is so ready. You know, they were smart to pick him, right? Because he's just so perfect for it. You know, he's somebody that could. 10 years from now, they could be like, hey, remember when Jason King was on Kill Tony before he was famous or whatever? Apparently, he played a guitar solo, which I think is awesome. He's got cool music. People should check out his music. I don't mean to I'm not trying to jump on his spot or anything. I just think that's cool, and it's one of the things about the open mic is people come in and then they go out into the world. They do exciting things, It's exciting to see people fucking MCP was on the Tonight Show, right? That's pretty cool. The fact that we're even kind of tangentially tied in with that, and still, we're still growing and still a network and so, we haven't had that many famous people perform on the show. I don't really go for that. It is an open mic. It is just meant to be for the people, by the people, of the people. But it would be nice if everybody got famous. That's the goal. We're trying to make it like Warhol's Factory, right? Where it's like everybody gets famous. It's like, oh yeah, remember this open mic was like this legendary New York thing, and all the stars were like Warhol superstars. There's fucking, Taylor Mead and Ondine and Gerard Malanga and whatever, Candy Darling, and Angel Lugo, and Catalina Guzman. So last night we had a great. So congratulations to Jason King. I mean, and then of course I've been kind of following it through social media. He was backstage, and all the fucking kind of bro comedians it looked like were there. It was like a summit of all the. Rogan was there. I don't know how often Rogan comes to New York, but Rogan was there. Shane Gillis was there. Fucking Dice was there. I've been following it. Dice had some videos. He's got excellent TikTok where he has this kind of reality show where he just films himself, real conversations he's having with fucking comedians or whatever. He's, the reason Dice is, he is the kind of godfather of all these horrible comedians. But he's definitely an innovative, avant-garde kind of forefront guy. He's always kind of on the cutting edge and experimenting and trying cool shit. Should I start walking again? I guess it's been an hour. Maybe I'll sort of head down. What the fuck time is it going to be? I mean, this is a nice place, but I'm just afraid I can't smoke here. There's cops walking around and shit. The cops, I have seen the cops busting people. I was in Tompkins the other day, and these people were having a nice birthday thing, it was bougie, and they had wine, they were young, hot, whatever, just progressive, fashionable intelligentsia people in Tompkins Park in East Village, rich trust fund babies, Nepo babies, having some wine, and the cops came over and gave them a ticket for drinking in the park. And so be it. I guess that's where we're at. Okay, is it time for me to move on? Okay, yeah, I guess it's nice to sit here. Maybe I'll just go to 60. Yeah, so it was a nice show last night. We had a big turnout. I don't know if it's because of that flyer. I guess I just need to make more kind of web-friendly flyers. So that's what I was talking about. I was going through my Instagram, just seeing kind of, the analytics. Because as a business profile on Instagram, I have a lot of kind of in-depth statistics that they give me about who looks at it and percentages and what it is versus what it was, and how am I growing? Am I shrinking? Am I getting as many impressions as I did? Am I getting as much interaction? Blah blah blah. And so I've noticed that the flyers that do get the most, and in fact, the posts that I've made that have gotten the most views and reaction are just these kind of flyers that I make in fucking literally on the photo, program in the iPhone. I go in and make the text in that. It's not even good. It's not even Canva. It's just shitty default iPhone, and it doesn't look good or anything. I mean, it looks like shit. I think the flyers that I draw have a lot of personality. You know, they have a lot of character. That's why I started doing them again, because it's like at least they have a brand kind of footprint. But these get a lot more views, and I think they're less threatening. And they're less alienating. You know, I want KGB Bar. I think we're lucky to have a lot of smart, but like, you know, people who want to feel safe. You know, people are like responsible adults, professional. We get a lot of, you know, like people like that who want to come to KGB and read their fiction or, you know, something they wrote. Maybe they've never done an open mic before, you know. Those people are usually horrified by the comedians. The comedians like go up and start talking about their dick or how some guy sucked their dick or some kind of racial thing, you know. You know, ethnic cleansing. Mohammed Patel has that joke about ethnic cleansing. It's like, Jesus Christ. I'll switch. I don't know, this fountain is so nice. It's such a nice little angle here. There are a little urban oasis here in Chelsea. I haven't been up here that much since I lived here, you know. I thought I'd be here all the time. I thought I'd be up here. You know, I haven't been to K-Town hardly at all. I used to go there like every other day. But when you move, it's just like your whole life changes. Your whole reality, everything around you, you're uprooted, you know. It's vicious. But it's also an opportunity we have as human beings, as trees with feet. You know, we're just walking trees. That's all we are. All right, Starlight Sunshine in the house. Haven't seen Starlight Sunshine in a while. What's up, what's up, what's up? We're talking about Eugene O'Neill. I haven't even gone into my restaurant reviews. I got to go into my restaurant reviews now. We ate at Café des Artistes. Well, it's not actually Café des Artistes. It is the Leopard at Des Artistes. It's the My Dinner with Andre restaurant. Which they didn't actually shoot My Dinner with Andre there. They shot My Dinner with Andre in like Virginia or something. I think they shot it in West Virginia. Believe it or not, the most highbrow movie ever made was filmed in West Virginia. But it's based on this restaurant on the Upper West Side, right off Central Park. It's on 67th Street. Café des Artistes. And I guess it was Café des Artistes forever, but it closed, I don't think in the pandemic, but a little before the pandemic. And it reopened as this new place, which I didn't really look at reviews or anything before I went. But they have these amazing murals. One of the things, maybe the only thing because I'm not necessarily a food aficionado. I mean, I know a little bit about it from working in restaurants and learning about it for my own diet and shit. But like, I don't have money to go to restaurants typically, so I don't think about them or anything like that. So I don't really know, you know, to me, it's always kind of like, it's always a nice experience, but it's also like, there's not that many restaurants I've been to where I've actually been like knocked out by how good the food tastes. You know, it's like, it's always usually good. You know, like the food is always usually pretty good, but you know, there's certain food experiences you have in your life where it's like, oh my God, like this is cooking, you know, this is like flavor and sort of a synergy of ingredients, and it's more than the sum of its parts. You know, it's like it's creating this kind of like ghost harmony of flavor, and I don't have that experience that often in a restaurant, to be honest. The food is always usually pretty good, but you know, that's true if you go to fucking Chipotle, you know, usually. And I don't like the social implications of restaurants. I don't like having people wait on me. It feels, I remember what it was like being on my feet all day in hard shoes, having to dress up, wear a tie and shit, and wait on rich people. It just sucks. I think it's so sadistic. It creates, we have to eat, right? And we have to get fed. And so it's part of capitalism, I think. You know, we could be cooking for ourselves and for each other. We could be feeding each other. But it's encouraged to monetize it and to turn it into a business. And to turn people into servants, basically, you know? And I don't like that. And so I don't really like going to restaurants. But it is nice, you know? It's more nice to go to somebody's house and eat, frankly. But there are, you know, this restaurant has really nice murals, right? One of the reasons why I wanted to go, because it has these kind of famous, well, also because it's my Dinner with Andre restaurant. It's like we had to make our pilgrimage. I still haven't been to Bar PT, which is where they wrote Life Aquatic, but we did do Cafe des Artistes. So the murals are incredible. They're like pornographic. It's all naked women. I guess they were painted in like the early 20th century. They have kind of like a post-impressionist, like Fauvist. I think they're Fauvist, maybe. I agree. New York City is like the Titanic. I've been thinking about that actually recently. About how I think in a certain way, like human build like peaked in like the late 1800s, early 1900s, like the Titanic as an example of just like engineering, craftsmanship, upholstery. The buildings in New York are like the Titanic. A lot of them are from that era. And if you're lucky, a lot of the best parts of New York are like we went to Monkey Bar, which is kind of this like jazz age, it feels like you're at the Stork Club or something. It does not feel like you're at Zero Bond or some awful like crypto private social club. You know, it doesn't feel like you're at some rooftop club in oh yeah, New York is a lot like the Titanic in a lot of ways. That metaphor you could take very far. It's an island. It's like a luxury liner, the way it's shaped. The classes, like we're steerage, we're third class, we're like way the fuck out there. We'll die first. We'll drown to death. We're locked in cages in like the bulkheads. We're the servants. You know, it's the rich people that get the good views. They get the poop deck. Billy Zane is up there having like the greatest meal of his life. But we're Jack, you know, we get to be Jack Dawson. We have the art, we have the sex, we have the life, you know. We're daring, you know, because we're daring enough to take it. We're like a lad. We're just on the street, like we're pickpockets, you know. We're not supposed to be here. We won our ticket in like a gambling hand. We're not even supposed to fucking be here, you know. It was a fluke poker accident in Liverpool 5 minutes before the fucking boat was supposed to leave. And so we're basically stowaways, you know? We're stowaways on this rich people theme park. Well, New York is a museum city like Europe. It's held in place, and it kind of should be. I mean, it's perfect, kind of how it is. But it's just like this vintage toy for rich people to visit and to act out the sex and pleasure that they can afford, that the rest of us give to them, you know? It's our job. We're the service class, you know? We are the waiters. We are the cameramen. We are the open mic hosts. The bartenders. The cleaning people. The contractors. You know, we're not the financiers, you know, the people who don't get their hands dirty, the bankers, the people who just swindle the working people out of all the value they create, basically. We're not tech people, which is basically like a nerd version of the same thing. They disrupt industries by basically just stealing them and holding them for ransom. And so we're trying to do it the old-fashioned way, and we're just trying to have a good time. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. And it's party city, okay? So we're fucking partying. They're not gonna stop at the party, okay? All right, I'm gonna keep walking. We gotta walk around the Titanic some more, you know? We gotta stroll around the deck of the okay, so we went to Leopard at Des Artistes. It was expensive, for one thing. It was very expensive, and like the portions were not big. It's not that type of place. It's not a value kind of place, you know? It's like a rich people art. To be honest, I mean, I worked in Megu, which is one of the most expensive restaurants in New York, and they try to create this vibe where it's like fine dining, and the dining room is like a show. Everybody's dressed up, the captains are wearing suits, they have a sommelier, they do wine service, they give you a taste of the wine before they pour it to get your approval. They do like these fancy kind of food prep at the table. Like we saw this guy was preparing some kind of fish thing at the table next to us with like some kind of super precise, you know, technique that he probably learned at, I don't know, just from breaking his ass his whole life working in restaurants. So when I see that shit, it's like, it's all smoke and mirrors. It's all fucking bells and whistles. It's all bullshit. You know, there's no fucking way. I mean, we got this octopus dish. It was $32. It came with 4 pieces of octopus and a bunch of tomatoes. That's it. A bunch of like cherry fucking tomatoes that were sliced. Maybe they were some kind of imported fucking fancy tomatoes or some shit, but I doubt it. And, you know, the octopus was like grilled. It was good. It was unlike anything I've ever tasted. It was fluffy, but it was very charred. So most of what I fucking tasted was like charred. And I was expecting, you know, like some kind of like fucking like purple, what's that shit, octopodi or whatever, you know, like some kind of like octopus salad where they usually give you like sort of a good portion, you know. So I don't know. It was good. If I was rich as fuck and I ate in restaurants for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day of my life, maybe it would have been, you know, something that I would have appreciated more. Okay, one thing they do give you, they give us 3 types of bread, which is one thing we've noticed in a lot of the restaurants we've been to is they don't give you bread anymore, which I think, you know, a lot of people are gluten-free, and a lot of people complain, like, oh, they give you all this bread to fill you up and shit. So I think they just stopped bringing bread to the table. Plus, with inflation and shit, they probably just can't afford it. You know, you used to get fucking bread pretty much everywhere you went. They give you, everywhere place had their own kind of bread. They had rolls, they had whatever the fuck it was, you know. Buns, honey buns at Country Buffet. The bread is a lost art. So at Leopard des Artistes, they had 3 kinds of bread, including these like garlic stick things, which I really liked. So when we were watching My Dinner with Andre afterwards, that's one thing that I noticed that was the same. In My Dinner with Andre, they also had 3 different kinds of bread. So that was a thrill. You know, even though it's free and it's a little thing, that kind of bumped them up a little bit in my book. For the entree, I had this lobster pasta, and it was good. I mean, it was lobster, but it was also expensive. The portions were small. It came with like fusilli. It was okay. It was no great shape. But, you know, the murals were incredible. The murals were very nice. They all look like kind of like Midsummer Night's Dream with Andy Rooney or Mickey Rooney. They all look like James Cagney, Midsummer Night's Dream. So apparently Café des Artistes was built to be a building for artists in like the 1930s or something. It's on 67th Street, right off Central Park West. It used to be called Café des Artistes, and it used to be a living, it was like fucking McKibben Lofts of like 1910, you know? It was like this big warehouse for artists, basically, to live. Now it's called the Leopard at Des Artistes. They do restaurant week, so, you know, you could get restaurant week there, which is like a 3-course for $60. But they have incredible murals, and the murals are like built in, so you have to go to this place. And it's worth it just for that. I mean, the murals are really amazing. And you'll see them in my next vlog. Yeah, exactly. A-R-T, I think it's I-S-T-E-S. Plural. Artistes. And so it's unthinkable now that they would ever build a building like this for artists. It's just like, it's like we're talking about. It's like Titanic level craftsmanship and engineering. It's just like this unbelievably beautiful old stone building. There's this incredible lobby, like it was like, this great wood lobby, Artistes. Artistes, plural. So now it's not for artists. Now it's like a private hotel. Exactly. For, now it's private residences. So it's probably all finance people, private equity, venture capitalists. The people that own everything. Or, they're probably war criminals. It might be Palantir, Peter Thiel money, dark money, war criminals, arms dealers, people like that probably live there and eat there, the arms dealers stole Manhattan from the artist, from the demi-monde. So then it was Ashley's birthday weekend, right? So we went to 2 different fucking restaurants. So then we went to Monkey Bar, which I'm pretty sure was a Graydon Carter restaurant. Graydon Carter of Vanity Fair. He was the editor of Vanity Fair. And it's got amazing murals as well, but they're like kind of a witty homage to the Café des Artistes murals, I think. They're like, the guy who drew them, I think, has done a lot of New Yorker covers. They have like a very New Yorker cover vibe from like the 90s. And so it's like this Manhattan, I think in the Google Maps it says power lunch place. It's also expensive, but it's, and it's like in a hotel. It's in like one of these old like fucking Algonquin kind of hotels in Midtown. And it's a great room. It's this huge open room. There's all these booths. The murals kind of surround the room in this kind of very grand way. So it feels glamorous. It feels like you're in the 1940s. You're some movie star, you're fucking Alexander Wolcott or something. I don't know who runs it now, but it's got that kind of Fran Lebowitz, Wallace Shawn kind of fucking vibe. Pop culture, intellectual, New York, literary, stylish kind of tweed thing. So the waiter seemed like he really didn't give a fuck. They took a while to get to our restaurant. This is my restaurant reviews, okay? This is Monkey Bar, which I saw pop up on TikTok as like a, essential New York experience. And this is something I'm starting to like appreciate more, is like, oh shit, I'm on 20%. Fuck, okay. There's just certain rooms like this that are like, wow, this is an incredible environment. These murals are incredible. Why not take advantage of this stuff? Why not go to the New York Public Library, fucking Rose Reading Room or whatever, and just like, it's such a unique fucking place, and just kind of breathtaking. And it's, it's like taking a vacation in your own town, right? It's like, wow, it's transporting. You go into some room in some building in New York and it's like, wow, all of a sudden I'm taken away to some other place completely, This super glamorous, super, kind of prestigious feeling, or, just more backdrop for the excitement of the adventure of our lives, which as millennials is all we can afford. We can't afford to buy anything real, so all we can do is have these little experiences, going to restaurants, traveling, taking pictures of it, sharing it on social media, powering our social media with it. The experiential, adventure life in the big city. You only got one life to live, YOLO. You better do it in New York. Where else could be, as important as this? As meaningful as this? Wow, there's a lot of fucking people out here right now. It's kind of crazy. I usually don't come this far north. Yeah, so anyway, the waiter seemed like he was on drugs or something. He seemed like he really didn't give a fuck. I mean, our reservation was at 10 p.m. It was hard to even get that. Because I guess this place is like a sister restaurant of Four Charles, which is a very Gigi exclusive restaurant in the West Village, which is closed for the month of August. So we couldn't go there. So we went to Monkey Bar instead, which is in Midtown, which honestly is a fun part of town to go. Nobody really goes out there. But I like that part of town. It does feel very powerful and kind of nostalgic for me, you know? Like fucking the Waldorf Astoria or Grand Central Station, or, you know, we're at Central Park beforehand and all these kind of things, you know? Plaza Hotel. We went into the fucking Plaza Hotel beforehand, the Palm fucking Court or whatever, to see about getting a drink there. This place looks really interesting. Is this a real hotel? How much could a room cost in that? There's no way that's... Oh yeah, this place looks really amazing too. This Oscar Wilde place here. They have an unbelievable... Let me go over there actually. I used to walk all over here all the time because I lived over here. But, what's up? Hey, I'm live streaming right now. How you doing?
Good. Where are you?
Yeah, I'm live on YouTube right now. Yeah. What's up? What's up? All right. Well, yeah. Let's talk or something.
Yeah.
All right. I'll DM you.
Okay.
How you doing? All right. All right. That's pretty cool. Was that awkward? Did I handle that in an awkward way? I don't know. I don't know if people want to be on fucking YouTube. See, look at the interior of this place. Doesn't that look fucking amazing in there? And there's Oscar Wilde right there. Was that awkward? Did I handle that in the wrong way? Funny running into Oscar Wilde here. Okay. Should I have taken... I don't know. I don't want to subject people to being on a YouTube live stream that they don't want to be on. Oh my God, is that lame? I don't know. It's pretty funny. That's one of the best parts about doing the live stream, you know, in New York, is you just run into fucking people that you randomly on the street, you know, through the magic of Jungian synchronicity in action. Yeah. I couldn't tell how camera shy they wanted to be. If they really wanted to be a part of it, or... I was going to go through that park, but it looks like there's a lot of people living there, so... This is a great part of town, too, honestly. All these fucking stores and shit are pretty interesting through here. Now it's like tech. A bunch of tech assholes, but... where was I? Oh, yes, I was trashing Monkey Bar. So we got 2 appetizers. We got, the service was, they have headsets. You know, it's one of those restaurants where, like, they're so important they have fucking headsets. And everybody's got to dress up and shit. We had a pretty good table, but we were kind of near the galley where they keep all the fucking, you know, roll-ups and shit. We got 2 appetizers. We got, what the fuck did we get? I had a steak frites for my entree. What were the appetizers? Fuck. Oh yeah, we got crab rangoon because that's like a specialty they do there. And fuck, what was the other one? Oh, a salad, smoked whitefish. We've never bought a salad anywhere we went, because who buys a salad in a restaurant? I mean, that's like a homework. That's something I have to eat. You know, I go to a restaurant, I want something for me. Well, I don't eat in restaurants enough to, like, you know, it's not a normal thing for me. So it's not just like, oh, I'll try something different now. I'll get something I don't usually get. I'll get a salad. So we got this fucking smoked whitefish salad that was excellent. It had cheese all over it. It was like a Caesar salad with smoked whitefish. Very good. And the, you know, the appetizers came out in a good amount of time. And the crab rangoon was good too, but it's like, you know, how hard is it to do that? It's just fried. It's fried in its sauce, you know? Um, fuck. And then so they brought the entrees out. I got steak frites. The fries were terrible. They weren't terrible, but they were just like, they were worse than fast food fries. You know, it's like, you're gonna charge fucking almost $60 for a steak frite. You better do something interesting with the fry. You know, you can't just bring out some kind of basic ass, you know, sub 99, like fucking Papaya King or Gray's Papaya fucking French fry. Nothing against them, but it's like, you know, the restaurant I worked in, Mego, we had these garlic parmesan fries. It's like, okay, that's delicious. And then they burnt my steak, which, like, the guy noticed, but, like, you know, it was not a big deal. The steak was still pretty good. But, you know, I just tasted fucking burn marks. So, you know, I don't know. I'm not like a super fan of the fine dining experience as it is. It's a lot of money to pay, and I don't even see how, like, the business model is sustainable for them. You know, a lot of restaurants, I certainly don't see how they make money, to be honest. Like, I mean, the shit is marked up a lot, but, you know, I'm glad that I did it. Like I said, the murals were incredible. The murals of Monkey Bar, okay, so they got all, like, the place seemed to be kind of about modernism to me. It seemed to romanticize and have a nostalgia for that era of New York, 20s, 30s, early 20th century. You know, there's George S. Kaufman on the wall, and Langston Hughes, and Duke Ellington, and Eugene O'Neill, and, you know, that was one of the things where I'm like, okay, maybe I should, you know, the Eugene O'Neill just kept coming up, right? The 40, like, we were on 43rd and Broadway earlier in the day, because I just wanted to see where the guy had been born, you know? And then we're at Monkey Bar, and he's in the mural, so I'm like, okay, let's see so we put on this Moon from Misbegotten play, right? I encourage people to watch it. It's on YouTube. Watch the Moon for the Misbegotten production with Jason Robards and Colleen Dewhurst. It's actually funny and pretty spicy. I would say that it's spicy for people that are into that kind of thing. Which seems like people are these days. People like spicy. Oh, I'm on 23rd, for Christ's sake. My old, man, I really wish I still had that apartment. It's a crime what they did to me. It's a crime what happened to me. Okay. Yeah, so I still haven't seen the Iceman Cometh in a lot of the early stuff, you know, like the Hairy Ape or Emperor Jones. So there's a lot of Eugene O'Neill shit. I'm going to check it out on YouTube. Spicy and salty, that's right. Should I put my live... I don't know. I'm in the middle of a fucking live stream. Should I talk for a second? I don't know. Well, that was a cameo. It was a cameo appearance. Okay, what the hell else do I need to talk about? Yeah, so I don't know. I give Leopard des Artistes was overpriced, but it's kind of an old people restaurant. I think they were excited to have young people there. You know, like the fact that we even wanted to take pictures and shit, they were like kind of excited. They're like, wow. I don't think it's like a big influencer restaurant. It's not a big influencer hotspot like Fort Charles. There's not just people making TikTok videos about the Leopard at Des Artistes. And the burger. You have to try the burger. You have to check out the murals. I'm a mural enthusiast, okay? I enjoy traveling to and visiting site-specific murals. It's one of my joys in life, okay? They're like frescoes. You have to go to them. It's not like a painting. You can't just take it anywhere. Look at this. I think these were the original department stores right here. This was like the original Macy's or something. All these buildings here. See, they were like building their way north from Greenwich Village into Midtown. So this part of New York is where the buildings actually kind of start to take off. You know, the Flatiron, the first skyscraper. But this was like, these were all like fucking Macy's and different department stores and shit. In the, like, whatever, 1800s, early 1900s, before they built the modern fucking... And they're beautiful buildings. You know, it's good that they're still here. You know? Too bad we can't build anything that fucking nice anymore. It's a common complaint on TikTok. Maybe that's just because that's my algorithm, but... You know, people on TikTok seem to get that America's ugly. Or at least the new shit they're building is ugly. We want something different. Yeah, so come down to the open mic. We had a great show last night. You know, we're always getting new people. There was this one girl that was super talented on piano, super great singer. You know, I encourage people to watch the videos on YouTube. You can watch the whole damn thing. I did an Elvis tribute at the beginning. It's Elvis week, right? Because Elvis died August 16th. And, you know, so we did the subtle Elvis thing. Nothing too... This is my phone call to everybody. Everybody who wants to just have a little one-sided phone call where they just hear my end of the conversation, they get to catch up. That's what this is. I don't know. I'm trying to make it exciting for the viewer with history, tidbits. Okay, what the hell else do we need to talk about? My battery is dying, so we're going to wrap it up pretty soon. Eugene O'Neill. Yeah, I don't know. I like that he did super long plays. Family plays. It's weird to me that, like, Tennessee Williams... I feel like somebody like Tennessee Williams is probably way more present in the culture. Or, like, the ways that Eugene O'Neill is in the culture, I don't know, maybe are more invisible. Maybe just built into, like, the fucking DNA of a lot of storytelling now. But, you know, Tennessee Williams, like, you remember the characters. You remember Blanche. You remember... Stanley, you know, you remember he has this kind of there's this flavor, you know, southern, you know, he's gay, so there's this kind of, you know, witty, verbal, poetic kind of flowery language and stuff, the kind of fumes of the cigarette and the dainty little Broadway tarts. So Jamie Tyrone is in both plays. He's in Long Day's Journey into Night and Moon for the Misbegotten. She keeps talking about his Broadway tarts. He's gonna run off to Broadway. There's a lot of sort of body shaming based insults. They keep calling this woman a fat blonde pig. I guess that was funny to them back in the day. This probably used to be a drugstore. What's going to happen when all the drugstores got out of business? That's the only thing that was anywhere. The only thing there is drugstores. What's going to happen when they leave? Okay, my fucking phone is, I'm on 10%. So I'm probably going to shut it down. For now. Just too fucking loud out here. These buses. But thank you guys for watching. Maybe I'll try and charge up and get on in a little bit or something. But I'll be back on later in the week. Committed to this community. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Starlight Starshine, for your comments. Check out the open mic. Check out my Elvis tribute. Stay tuned for the Labor Day telethon. Let me know if you want to perform on the Labor Day telethon. It's Sunday. That's Sunday. And we got Boog City coming up. We're doing the open mic every Monday, so DM if you want to be on it next Monday. Last night we had a really good turnout. It was pretty packed. So now that school is getting back in session, people are coming back to school. We got a whole new class of people coming in, a whole new group of people coming in. So new faces, new talent, new memories. We're coming up on our 100th show. Beginning of September will be 100 shows. And, oh, fuck, you know what? It's 10 years of Scenes from a Life today. This is Scenes from a Life's 10th birthday, so happy birthday to Scenes from a Life. My vlog. My vlog is 10 years old, everybody. Celebrate by going back and watching from the beginning. It's hundreds of hours long. I don't even think it's possible for a human being to watch it all. I defy you. This is a Scenes from a Life challenge. I defy you. We dare you to try to watch the whole thing. You can't do it. It cannot be done. For Matt Proctor completionists. For Matt Proctor completists. I think it's impossible. There's too many live streams. There's too much content. It's impossible to actually view it all. There's too many streams, there's too many vlogs, there's too much poetry, there's too many notebooks, there's too much live, there's too many unpublished masterpieces. So do the best that you can. Happy birthday, Scenes from a Life. 10 years of vlogging from New York City, baby. 10 years of vlogging from the greatest city in the world, the greatest vlogging city. My webisodes, they were just webisodes, okay? And it was meant to be a diary film, okay? It's not a vlog, it's a diary film. It's a lifelong diary film, okay? So, go from the beginning. Go back, go to the Scenes from a Life playlist, or watch the best from the Scenes of Life. I've got a lot of playlists on my profile where you can explore different episodes, different vibes, music, whatever you're into. Music, poetry, love, family, holiday feeling. Go back, watch some of the summer episodes, Watch Late Summer Classic from 2016. See where we were 8 years ago at this time. See how the world has morphed and changed subtly, slightly, in gradations, incrementally, a little bit at a time, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 second at a time. We're honing it. We're getting closer. We're getting closer to perfection. So yeah, I guess I'll go celebrate. I'll go have some kind of big party. You can celebrate at home. Celebrate now by clicking the Scenes from a Life playlist. Watch all the episodes. Starting from the beginning, just hit shuffle, watch them in order, whatever you're into. Whatever the hell you're into. Linear, non-linear, whatever your kink is. Watch it by theme. Watch it by character. Watch it by keyword or hashtag. All right, well, thank you for watching, everybody. Keep fighting, keep making art, keep writing, keep editing, keep performing, keep loving each other, keep taking care of each other. There's a whole movement happening. There's a groundswell happening. I can feel it. All of the open mics, all of the poets, all of the MCs, all of the comedians, they're all fucking working together. They're forming a great rhizome, like a big fungal mushroom under Kentucky that's 80, 100 miles huge. It's like a living organism under the soil of telepathic open mic hosts and poets and comedians and live streamers and Adam S. and Kiwi Mountain.
It's a really good dude.
And Eileen Miles.
That are nice.
And editors and publishers. And musicians, free jazz, saxophone players. Metal, prog metal people. People who went to the Green Day concert. You know, Paul McCartney is on the rhizome somehow. So we're just getting stronger. We're just getting strong. Yeah, artists, of course, yes, absolutely. Artists, fine artists, sculptors, painters, performance artists, headbangers, grunge people, people in Nirvana t-shirts, people who shop at Urban Outfitters, CVS clerks, Walgreens clerks, Dwayne Reed clerks. Look, synchronicity. Can you see what that says? Can you read that? It says Titanic, okay? We're gonna end on that, Titanic, okay? We found it. We found it. It's Waterworld and we found it. Okay? Talk about synchronicity. Talk about manifestation, okay? Yeah. There it is, okay, people? The magic is real, okay? It's all simulated. We're tied in. We're tied in with the world and with our living environment. And we are coaxing it into being at all times. God bless you. Have a wonderful tomorrow. We're going on the Titanic now. We're gonna go get on the Titanic. We're already on it. As people in Manhattan, we're already on it. Hot Atlantis. I mean, Manhattan is definitely the new Atlantis. That's why, I don't know. It's like they said in My Dinner with Andre. We're living in the model of the new concentration camp.